What is going on, Casually FC? Welcome to another installment of the Casually Chelsea Show. My name is Marshalldbdx. I'm accompanied with Winter Surfer, Real Chris, Ahmed, my lovely panel here. You guys already know what to do. Smash the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Donation, super chat, all welcome, and check the links in the description. Before we go ahead and get started, we have to talk about it. Someone needs to stop the Terminator that has come from the future to the Premier League and scored a fucking hat trick against Erik ten Hag's team. Erling Haaland is absolutely a monstrosity. He is a menace to the Premier League. He is going to turn this English league into a farmers league, and I refuse, people. I refuse to accept this, ladies and gents. I'm flawless. If you ever watch this, I am sorry. If you want any compensation prize and optimism about the game, you at least won the second half. All right.
He is saying that. He is saying that.
Yeah, you at least won the second half. But wow, I mean, the fact that the sites that I saw on TV, Man United fans leaving 20 minutes after they started the game was absolutely flabbergasting. It was crazy to see it. It was absolutely crazy to see it. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome here, I deem now Real Chris the Alex Jones of this channel, because this man conspirized that Erling Haaland was going to get a hat trick. It was going to be a blowout by Man City. I was in denial because Man United have been playing good. I thought maybe Ten Hag fixed something.
I know.
I can't believe you disbelieved Haaland.
Chris, I'm sorry if my mic's crackling, guys. I can't do anything about it. It goes
you're
in
good.
now. Chris, do you have Haaland in your fantasy Premier League team?
I do. I put him in.
Okay, there we go. It's not a conspiracy theory. He's desperate for points, okay? He's trying to put good juju in the air, right? He's trying to put good juju in the air, right? Haaland is probably the only one who's
I
scoring
also have
points
Kevin
in.
De Bruyne.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
De Bruyne, I think he's on 8 assists now. He's going to break the assist record this season.
That's crazy.
He's already nearly 50%.
No,
below
but
there.
the reason I said Haaland's going to score because he's scoring every game. Like hat tricks and 2 goals and 1 goal. He scored 15 goals already for Man City.
It's absolutely nutty to see it. Like,
He's going to make this. Listen, whether you think it's a Farmers League or not, it is not the best. It's not the best league in the world. The quality, exciting, maybe it's fine. The quality is not. If you go below 7th, I think all the teams are much of a muchness. Actually, let me say that. If you go below 1st, the teams are much of a muchness. in terms that all the rest can easily be beaten by anyone in this league. We've seen it already this season. We've seen it, or be held to a draw or something like that. It's just listen. However long he's here for, 2 or 3 years, guys, you just got to hope they don't have a replacement lined up, or Pep Guardiola goes or something like that. Because I'm sorry for it. Every season when we start it, all we're talking about is who's finishing second to City. That's all that's going to happen while Haaland's here. And I feel they might actually. Can I say this? If they want to, I think they'll do the quad. I think they'll do the double though with the European Cup and the Premier League this season. That's what I think they'll do. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
It'd be a big fail for City not to win Champions League though.
Yeah, but that's what they need to. I think they will. I think this is it.
Yeah.
Because even they haven't been playing. This is probably their best game that they played this season, but. The rest of the season, they just had Haaland, and it's like they can just do whatever.
But the thing too about Haaland is that it's like you see how they play, right? And he doesn't see the ball that often. Obviously, today was a little bit of a different instance. He was more engaged, but the previous games, he doesn't see the ball that often. But when he does see the ball, very likely he is to score.
I think he had 3 touches and had 2 goals.
Yeah, this is what I mean. That's so ridiculous. And I would kill
scored with his first and second touch, guys. First and second touch were 2 goals.
And by the way,
that's what I wanted from Romelu. Yeah, and 2 assists. That's what I wanted from Romelu last season.
Imagine if you triple captained him in fantasy league. Jesus Christ almighty.
Who? Me?
No. Can you imagine if anyone triple
people in general
today?
Oh right, yeah. I was meant to captain him, but I somehow left out.
I just hope if you've got Haaland in your team, just captain him. No matter if you don't, just whatever. Just leave him as captain.
I've learned the hard way. I'm just gonna do that from now on. No taking second shots or guesses and going for like Kane like I did. Oh my days.
No, he's the best. He's the best number 9 and he's the best striker in the Premier League. Probably in the world right now. Probably him
in
and
the world,
Lewandowski.
yeah.
Him and
Yeah, because
Lewandowski.
Benzema's not played this much this season. So
And
yeah.
Kane, I don't think you can count Kane as a classic number 9 anymore. It's the way he drops back.
Mbappe's not on this level right now.
Hybrid.
Kane's a CF now. He's not a striker anymore. He's just
Oh, Dark with the
Super
super chat. Thank you so much. Back-to-back streams. Big up the panel. Chris, get back in the kitchen. Holland is a monster in front of goal.
I barely
need that at
used it today.
Chelsea.
Inside
Well,
joke.
I really wish that. I mean, now in hindsight, I'm thinking like maybe 130 mil plus Mino Raiola at the time wouldn't have been that bad.
If Boehly was here last year, he would have done it. I'm guaranteeing it right now.
It probably would not have been that bad. So
I think he would have done it. I think he would have taken everything like the buyout clause or whatever is the pay and whatever. I think he would have done it. I think he would have done it.
Yeah. So
that's why you're seeing us. That's just a good segue, Marshall. That's why you're seeing us linked to Leao and Nkunku at the same time.
Well, I'm so happy you did that, Andrew, because I was just about to bring it. Yes, let's go.
Yeah.
There we go. All the glory goes to Andrew for that one. So yeah, guys, the first thing I want to talk about in today's Casually Chelsea show is the Nkunku news. This has been big pretty much all week. Nkunku basically getting a secret medical done, right? Behind, under everyone's noses. No one knew about it. All of a sudden, he's doing a medical for Chelsea. The latest that I have on in reference to Nkunku is right over here. Let me go ahead and get this up for you guys right here. Is Fabrizio Romano tweeting the following. All parties involved in Christopher Nkunku deal wanted to keep Chelsea medical secret, but it really took place a few weeks ago. So wow, this is not even this week. It happened a while ago. Not done yet, as Chelsea and Leipzig will discuss about fee/payment terms. Plan B, triggering 60 million euro clause in 2023. So my thoughts on this initially, I didn't expect it. It came to a surprise to me. I knew we were linked to with Nkunku a few times. There was rumors, but I didn't think that after the summer transfer window, after getting Aubameyang and Sterling and getting some attacking roles in the team, that I didn't think we would actually go ahead and still commit to Nkunku, especially with the Leao links being really strong and all the other links that have been rumored about, right? So this one took me by surprise, and someone, I think it was Miz, that mentioned it seems that we really like Boehly, not we, really likes Red Bull, Leipzig and Salzburg. They seem to be doing a lot of business. We sent Timo over there. We wanted Christoph Freund. I think there was other people in the CEO.
Director of
yeah. Also, we wanted to get their CEO to be our CEO, or their director to be our CEO, and all types of things. So it's looking like we have some type of relationship with Leipzig, and so this might be how we actually get a foot ahead of everyone else to get Nkunku. Now, whether or not I want Nkunku, I don't know. I am hesitant because of the PTSD that Timo Werner has caused me, and Kai Havertz, and a lot of attackers that came from Germany, minus Lewandowski and Haaland, of course. They're just freaks of nature. But Andrew, what are your thoughts on the whole Nkunku business happening, man? Are you for this, or yeah?
I'm a bit like you. When we buy a new player, I don't really care what they've done in their previous clubs. Because it means nothing. Look what Werner did for Leipzig and then played for us. I'm starting to get a bit of conspiracy theory that's why the Werner deal was so low, the price. That they somehow
that conspiracy theory.
We'll give you a low price on Werner if we can have first option on Nkunku. I think the tests were not like a normal medical. I think they were like sort of like cardio tests or something like that with the heart and everything like that. So make sure there's no like conditions that no one's unaware of. Because people are now finding like people are having like heart conditions they're unaware of before, stuff like that. Listen, if it happens, it happens. I think they're going to try and negotiate a price first, and may end up just paying the normal the 60 million buyout clause that's in his contract, because he signed a new contract in the summer. That's where he's staying. Is everyone still? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we can hear
sorry,
you.
you were
we can hear you.
all still. And Chris has got his camera off, and I
I'm just super hyper focused on what you're saying.
Yeah.
You take my breath away, Andrew, when you speak.
That's probably asthma.
I'm still eating a little bit.
But yeah, listen, on paper, if you're going to get me a front three of him, Sterling and Leao, on paper, that is very tasty, because unless you've got Lewandowski or Haaland, the number 9 is dead at the moment. So I'd rather maybe have a front three like that, then I'm in for it, because I think they're going to, because they know they don't have to spend a lot on Nkunku, in terms of like 60 million is probably the most because it's a buyout clause. They have a lot of cash left over for Leao. So I think it's on paper it's exciting. On paper it's exciting, but let's see how it goes, man. Let's see how it goes.
So another thing I want to bring up about the Nkunku stuff is that I'm curious as to how he would fit the mold of our team. When he plays for Leipzig, he's more of a left forward, not left winger, but he does tend to play on the left-hand side. He's more of a central player.
I'm pretty sure he's playing strikers.
But he's like Timo in the sense that he likes to play towards the left, right? So my question, I guess we'll go with Ahmed, is first of all, your thoughts on Nkunku as well, and what do you think how he fits our team, our current team?
All right, so I'm just neutral on Nkunku. I know what he's done in the Bundesliga. I've seen him play. He's a good player in it, but again, it's we've seen, obviously with Werner, Havertz. I would even argue now Sancho and others that have come from the German league. When they've come to the Premier League, they haven't really performed here. So again, it's going to be an interesting thing to see with him. What is more interesting, in my opinion, is the price negotiation. Are they trying to get him in January? Because from what it seems like, because if they're planning, because from what Fabrizio said, the 60 million buyout clause is in 2023. So either they're trying to do the 60 million buyout clause in 2023 or negotiate a price for January, which I don't know, which might be possible. Again, but if not, it might just be like a price for 2023. Just somehow whatever it is, but. That is a sort of interesting take in my hands, but hey. Yeah. As long as and the other thing is, apparently, I think it was SI who reported this, that Bayern are looking at Havertz in it. So if Havertz has a change of heart or doesn't perform, he might go to Bayern Munich basically. So
hey guys,
maybe that's.
Go ahead.
So that's probably. So I think maybe that's something in the back of their minds. Or maybe they might, because the thing with Havertz is we don't know. Obviously, if at the end of the season he's only got 2 years left, right? Or has he got 1 year left on his contract?
No, I think
Havertz, I believe, is 2.
5 years, so it'd be 2.
So he's still got another 2 years left after this year. So either way, for him, it's going to be a high price, but I don't think he's going to leave. But whether or not it happens, I don't know who he's going to leave. Is he going to be a replacement for Pulisic? Is he going to replace him for Ziyech? You've also got Aubameyang, who's still got 1 year left. Unless you're planning for Ziyech and Pulisic to leave at the end of the season, bringing in Nkunku as a replacement, then I don't know. Because then it makes sense if Nkunku and Leao come in, you remove Pulisic and Ziyech. That makes sense in my mind, at least.
Before we move on to Chris's opinions on this and Prime, of course, I did just find a tweet here from Ben Jacobs that I did want to share. So besides everything that we just talked about, the release clause and all that, apparently PSG did also consider buying Nkunku back, but have decided against it for now. The Chelsea medical doesn't stop other clubs entering a race, but it makes CFC frontrunners. Told Chelsea may choose to further get jump on their rivals by trying to negotiate a deal that's different to the release clause with a more preferable structure. The clause itself is lower than Nkunku's market value, so it's likely there will be lots of interest. Also a reminder, players can add and do agreed terms with multiple clubs, not stopping Nkunku doing the same. 52.8 million pound release clause. He just corrected himself there. So yeah, there's a little bit more info there as well in reference to Nkunku.
That means
Chris,
by the way,
Prime, go ahead.
Sorry, that means that he can agree a deal with us as well as multiple other clubs. An agreement, because you're not signing a contract literally. So.
So, I mean, Prime, do you have anything you want to say in reference to this Nkunku stuff? Are you for it? Are you against it? Because I know some people, they are against it. It is the Bundesliga tax, as people like to call it.
I don't think the Bundesliga tax is as much of a thing as people make it out to be. I just think it's all about signing the right players for your system, right? Like for example, if we had signed Haaland last year, or even if we had signed him this summer, he would not have been as amazing as he is at City right now, because we don't have the players to suit him. We don't create chances on a world class or even elite level where Haaland can go through games where he only has 7 touches, but he scores from 2 of them. You don't do that, unfortunately. So, yeah, I think Nkunku's good. Can play everywhere across the front line. He's not the forward I'm raving about, to be fair, and we'll probably get on to him later. But if we sign him, yeah, I'll be happy. The thing is, though, he's not a signing to replace Pulisic or Ziyech. He's coming straight into the starting 11. Like, people need to keep it in mind. It's not about replacing. Sorry.
So, who would the front three be if Nkunku does come for you?
Leao, Nkunku, Sterling, and probably Aubameyang up top.
Oh, so you would play like a
4-2-3-1.
or 4-2-3-1. Yeah.
I don't think we got Lee.
So what are you saying? Mount's gone, yeah? Is that what you're saying? Like Mount?
Stop trying to stir the pot, all right?
Let's be honest. Was Mount ever really here?
Yeah, he's always playing.
He's been replaced by Gallagher, right?
He's there
Listen,
somewhere.
I'm not going to talk in it. I'm calm.
And again, here's the thing, though, right? If Mount they haven't this far, but like all these guys, since it's a new coach, so it's got to be a new slate. You have to earn your place now, fight for it, because
yes,
we're not bringing guys in the summer. Do you want to be part of this club in the future? If Havertz start performing or whatever, or Pulisic starts performing now towards the end, and now until the end of the season, they will end up staying probably.
I've got a feeling Prime. So that if we were to get Leao and Nkunku, I think he might. Potter might try and set up and have more of a workman-like midfield instead of creative midfield, Liverpool did when they had their 3 up top, and obviously use Reece James as an extra weapon as well, and whoever at left back.
Yeah.
I think they might set up like that. Have maybe obviously have 2 sitting, then have 1. Maybe go ahead at some points during the game, link up, but then not go that far.
Maybe like a Essien and but
you've got Leao and Nkunku and Sterling, who I think that's more of a fluid, flexible front 3 that can each play in each of those positions at times. So, like I said, I think it might be something like that. I don't know, but if Aubameyang might be on the bench and be options in some games.
That would work. Yeah,
because Aubameyang only got a 2+1, so it would make sense for him to be on the bench. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Actually, yeah, and plus, what you're saying, Andrew, would make sense because Chelsea fans need to realize signing a DM doesn't fix things. As you see with Fabinho this season, he's been isolated a lot in midfield. That doesn't help. Rodri a few times this season, and even last, has been isolated because no one's not protected him, and no one's helped out in midfield, leaving him on his own. We can sign the best DM in the world. They're not really how much really are they going to improve us if the likes of Kante or Kovacic can't even stay fit, never mind help out in midfield. So
what?
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Alvarez, it's got to be someone who can partner him and more or less be more defensive minded than trying to attack and go
almost like 2 sitters. Maybe almost like a two sitters basically.
Maybe more of either a 3 where 2 are mostly sitting on 1, sometimes go up
box to box,
or literally a flat 3 where they just cover and they only go up for corners or something. Do you know what I mean? It's because you have a flat 3, you have more of a use of your left and right back like Liverpool used to do, but obviously not leaving them to, because like they said, if you're going to then do that, because the right and left back are going to leave space in between, you're going to have the flat three who can cover just in case. So like something like that, maybe I don't know. This. If Potter wants to do that, Potter wants to do that.
Because one thing I will add, Safa, is that I think like we've seen like in the last 2 games, he likes like 8s like that can shoot, and like we saw that obviously with Mount. We can probably use like a Mount there, a Gallagher there, or even someone else, for example, there. Like maybe he's just doing that in the temporary, but I think that would be a much greater. I think if Chilwell obviously comes back into form eventually, Cucurella's obviously there. You got Reece James and maybe
But Ahmed, if you've got the option of Nkunku, Sterling, and Leao, who can all play those 3 positions instead of like trying to force Havertz in like a false 9 or a wide, which he doesn't really like.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
I think it gives him more options and more options and just to move it like that. Now, I don't know whether he does. Looking at Brighton, but saying that, looking how Brighton played, I've never seen him do that. But then I don't know whether he's had the options to ever do that, though. That's the problem. So it's like
he could play a 4-2-4 to be honest. A 4-2-4
maybe. But let's see now with the options that we give him, whether he certainly changes his the way he wants to do football, the way he wants to do formations. So.
Of course, yeah.
And plus, Forrest needs to be someone who's quite adaptive. Like the best thing about Chelsea, other than Thiago Silva, is probably our fullback, our wingbacks. You might as well try and use that to your advantage and have a lot of the creativity coming from Reece James and Cucurella or Chilwell, which means then our midfield has to be stable. Like that's part of why I kind of fell apart with Tuchel. We couldn't have a stable midfield because our best midfielders just didn't stay fit. If you have midfielders that stay fit, it makes it better for James and whoever to bomb forward, knowing that there's protection in that midfield, meaning we can create more chances and hopefully score more goals.
It makes more if they're negotiating a deal, because knowing in 2023 he's got a $6 million buyout clause and everyone can then go at it. It makes more makes more sense then to discuss it, to sign him in January.
That's what I'm saying,
but maybe not play him in January, like loan him back for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Like
maybe you pay him like 8 million. Yeah, maybe you say 8 million
because he's going to be. We can't play him in if we get through to Champions League knockout stages. If we can't play him because he's cup tied in Europe.
No, we can play him. We can play him. I'm pretty sure.
No, we can't.
They stopped doing that thing. Yeah, they stopped it.
Oh, okay. Maybe not.
I have a question. Excuse my ignorance, and you guys.
Because Diaz played for Liverpool.
Don't worry, I accepted it.
Diaz played for Liverpool one time, just quickly.
Okay. What I wanted to ask is, in a similar example, when Upamecano agreed the contract deal with Bayern, didn't he sign the contract and have the deal in January, but played out the rest of the season for Red Bull?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it'd probably be something like that.
The buyout clause or something.
All right. Well, let's before we touch on Leao, I do want to also bring up this topic that's been a hot button topic is Super Trossard to Chelsea.
I didn't even get to say my piece about him, man.
Yeah, come on, Chris, didn't say anything. Come on,
Chris,
I know you guys covered.
Sorry,
you guys definitely
Chris. Okay.
Well,
what did you want to add to it, Chris?
Well,
I felt bad that we basically covered everything, and I was like, I don't know if Chris is gonna. I was gonna give you this one.
What I think what's gonna happen anyway.
Go ahead.
I'm going. We don't care.
Be nice to Chris. Oh my days.
I'm gonna put my Alex. I'm gonna put my Alex Jones hat on right now.
Oh my days.
I think he's definitely gonna come in January. I think he could work out as a right wing. I'm not gonna talk about Leao. Well, we are gonna talk about him anyway, but I think we'll go get him at right wing. Aubameyang in strike and Sterling left wing, and I do like him as well because he has my name. So let's bring him in. But yeah, move along.
Wait. What's your name?
Christopher.
Your name's not real.
It's Christoph.
No. That's what some people call me.
I thought your name.
Like
Yes, literally.
No one calls you Christoph.
Andrew, I swear to God, touching
they don't. No, they don't.
Yes,
they
Andrew, I'm telling you the truth. I have been called Christoph.
You're mishearing. They're saying Chris.
No.
Stop. That's what they're saying. You're missing the
Oh no, no, Chris.
I don't know why is that hard to believe? I have a couple people who actually call at me. That's why.
I thought your name was Fritchie.
What?
What? I have a super chat I have to read.
Yeah.
All right, Hassan, thank you for the £2 super chat, brother. Chris is a fraud. Opinion doesn't matter. Bin him. All right, that was lovely. That was lovely. All right, Chris thinks January it's happening.
He's from where?
I don't watch Frozen, so I don't know what the fuck you mean.
All right, let's go ahead.
Just let it go.
Let's
Okay.
let's talk about
you knew
Trossard.
that, Chris, though, didn't
Yeah,
you?
because that's been used like something you were saying, man. Sing it, fuck.
So, Trossard. Now,
Actually,
personally,
after yesterday, what he did at Anfield, can we rename him Bossard, please? He's Bossard.
Bossard?
Bossard, yeah.
Bossard?
Yeah.
Listen, look, I gotta give Trossard this. I always believed that this kid had talent. I just never thought that it would. No. I always thought like there's a talented player there, but I never thought that he would be like, anything a craze or like. Kind of like how there's Eden Hazard and there's Thorgan Hazard, where like the other Hazard is kind of just he's a good player, but he's not like doesn't live up to Eden Hazard. Trossard, I think is a good player. I just didn't think he'd be this good this season. He's been amazing this season, and he's played all types of positions: left wing back, left wing, and now I think yesterday he played as a striker.
He's on the left a lot.
Probably played a bit less.
He's got a few goals this season, hasn't he?
He's got a pretty good chunk of goals now, and people are really hyping him up now that Potter. Now that Potter has come to Chelsea and it's his former club, and there's been a lot of links between Chelsea and Brighton. There's a possibility that we might get Trossard. Now, do I want Trossard? I don't know. I want to be patient about this. I want to see how the season ends. If it's something we do for Trossard, I'd probably wait till the summer just to see how he performs overall, right? Just because, and I love how Chris left as I was going to give him his opportunity to speak. But I'm going to go ahead and give it to Prime, who's shaking his head no and telling me to calma. Prime, what is your thoughts on the whole Trossard links and stuff? Are you hyped about this? This is something you want? Because I'm on the fence about it.
What is it with you Premier League fans rating needy players, man? Just because he worked up Trent doesn't really mean anything.
I mean, that's Trent, isn't it? Come on, guys, isn't it?
That's my point. Everyone does that. I've seen Werner do it as well. It doesn't mean anything.
Trent looked like Princess Leia. Trent looked like Princess Leia at some points in that game, man, on the floor. Like,
exactly. Like,
oh my god!
I can't like
Trossard in. Just know it will be a backup wing back.
Yeah, see, backup he will be great.
Like the guy's not going to do anything special. Like you're right, he is like Thorgan Hazard, but at least Thorgan Hazard gets to play in his actual position. Trossard is playing wing back at times, so that shows.
Does he play wing back?
Yeah, he's playing left wing back.
Until Potter left, he was playing left wing back.
Oh shit! I thought he played like left wing and striker, wasn't it?
Well, he does play attacking positions as well, but he's wing back.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know. He's not someone I would want as a preference, I guess. But if he's coming into the team to be a backup, and I'm assuming his wages are going to be quite cheap, then sure, because James does need cover on that right hand side, and I don't trust Chilwell. I don't think Chilwell is back or ready or anything. I don't trust him. So
Chilwell needs,
but it's going to take Chilwell a season, though, isn't it?
I know that.
Maybe.
Yeah. The way Chelsea fans are getting gassed, I know Chilwell's not going to return back.
Because he's even had a couple good. I think he's had a couple good games this season already. Like
he's got cameos off the bench.
No, he saved us this season, and was it the West Ham game? I'm thinking.
It was the West Ham game. He was off the bench.
He hasn't looked good.
Yeah, but it saved us. Like he came on.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure he came on.
Gallagher scored a goal as well. Well done. Doesn't mean anything.
Well, I think we should start Gallagher, after that game.
Okay.
Ahmed, comments?
Yeah, you think a lot of things.
Me?
Comments, Ahmed?
What comments?
I don't speak.
Yeah, because he knows Gallagher. He knows Gallagher is a bum.
We don't know if he's a bum yet. We're not even overhyping him
You're
yet.
just open the can of worms, Prime. Of course you do. This is why we love you. But like, don't you think give Gallagher the benefit of the doubt, right? Like, he's been playing as a DM this whole season, and the one opportunity he gets to play as a cam, he actually did a decent performance. He did what Mount couldn't do, which is score a goal in fucking 7, 8 games.
You bring up Mount. I don't rate Mount either. But anyway,
yeah, I know.
Do you actually think I am one of the people who's being reactionary based on how he's been this season?
No, I don't think you are. I just think you don't rate him at all.
Do you not think I watched him at Palace last season and thought
he did really well there?
Do you not think he didn't? Do you not think I watched him
really well?
He was a player of the season.
Well at Palace.
He was a player of the season.
He had a spell of 3 months. That's all 3 months where he was good.
Why did he get player of the season?
Overall, he did well. I don't know about really well. Like, I don't know.
I thought he was
player of the season.
I'm gonna just step in here,
How do you know he won player of the season?
It was said.
Cool. And you're a Chelsea fan. Why should that matter to you?
I know, but like you saying he didn't do it well.
Is he a Chelsea fan?
Okay, yes, yeah. I've been a Chelsea fan for a long time now.
If Gallagher won player of the season, I mean, is the likes of Eze and Olise.
Eze wasn't playing last season, remember?
Eze was injured.
Are those guys really that good if Gallagher can win player of the season? That's all I'm going to say.
Yo, relax.
I would argue.
Zaha scored 14 league goals and didn't get it, so he's got to be good.
Exactly. So
yeah.
Hey, but we know why. We know right.
So that means he plays well.
Andrew, we all know it's the Ismaël, yeah? All know it's the
Ismaël. Yo.
I think we got to see. I honestly think. We're not overhyping Gallagher, but I think we got to see how Gallagher plays.
I think for me, I've said this before. I'm not, listen, I like Gallagher, I rate Gallagher, but
All right, Ahmed with the comments.
It's just, for me, when I saw that goal happen, I could have been smug, I could have done a lot of stuff, but I'm just happy for him. Hopefully,
I bet you had joy, guys.
You could have been smug. Whoa, Ahmed, are you not the guy that added me in the group chat and said why is Prime silent?
Listen, listen, I'm on Casually FC. Listen, right now.
This guy, 10 minutes after the win, this guy added me in the group chat saying, "Where's Prime? Go celebrate the win, man."
Marshall, I'm on Casually FC right now, so I'm gonna be a bit more, straight and hard in it. I'm not gonna be the rubbish I'm going to do because I'm trying to build an image.
You're saving your energy for the Q&A later. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. Conserve yourself, my man. Then
go
Super Saiyan later.
I'm actually being honest, Gallagher, listen, he's a good player. I think, under Potter, if Potter can do what he did to get him to produce what he did at Crystal Palace, I actually think he's a much better player than Mount is.
I agree.
The 8th position. So, it's going to be interesting to see. And that's just if I'm being honest in that. So, I don't know.
Back to the topic of Trossard.
Yes. Trossard for me, he's a great option to have off the bench. I've said that before. If you can get him
he's in the last year of his contract, so in January he can sign a pre-contract with foreign clubs. So next summer he'll be on a free. I don't know. There won't be probably a huge signing on fee.
Who is he next summer when we're in the Champions League and we're struggling to break down Roma's low block and we bring off Trossard off the bench. No one cried to me, innit? Okay.
No, I'm
not a big fan of it either.
No, I'm just laying out the facts in case people don't know. I'm nonplussed about this because I think it's lazy journalism to link the former Brighton manager to Brighton.
Yeah,
fair enough. That is fair.
I agree strongly.
The same where Ten Hag has linked all of. I know he bought a couple, but linked every single Ajax player. Do you know what I mean?
He did buy a couple, yeah.
Yeah. So listen, I did read during the break that while there was links to Chelsea, he didn't really want to spend time on the bench. And it's understandable because I think he's in his late 20s. I think he's like 27.
He's 27, yes.
He's like Jonathan Kroos.
So he's in his prime age.
Yeah. So but I just don't. If the plan comes off that you're getting Leao and Nkunku in, he doesn't unless there's a major injury or they're way off form. He wouldn't start, right? So does he then want to sit on the bench? I don't know. It's up to him whether he wants to do. He thinks he's confident enough to get in there. And who says we stop at buying Leao and Nkunku? Maybe buy some. That's where But I also think
We need to buy midfielders.
when we're discussing transfers.
That's in January, innit? So I don't know.
But when we're discussing transfers, I also got to keep in the back of my mind that a new sporting director will be in.
Mm.
So, what other targets are we going for? Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So, I don't think Trossard will come in the end. I think he'll. You know what? Ironically, I think he'll go to a place like Liverpool or Newcastle.
I think a mid-table team. You know, I wouldn't be surprised to be
Or Newcastle,
Everton.
maybe.
Or Everton, maybe
a
Everton.
mid-table team like Brighton or Palace.
I don't think Brighton's
Yeah,
a mid-table team, man. I can't lie to you. I don't know. Like they're not.
You think
they've
they're
not
a
been
top
there
8
for
side
multiple
now?
seasons. But they're not
People
been there for
do-
multiple seasons.
They're not. People do this about Brighton every single season.
No.
Last
When I
season,
say
they're a mid-table team, man.
no. When I say mid-table team, like I mean they've been there for more than just 2 seasons, right? Brighton have not done that. This would probably be the second season they would be mid-table. Like a Wolves, for example. Wolves is a mid-table team. Like an upper
They're a
middle
relegation team at the rate.
Yeah, but listen, man. Let's be honest. Like, if
Brighton are a
once
mid-table
they're
team.
placed-
Yeah, that's what I said Brighton are a mid-table team. So you agree?
Well, yeah. Once Wolves really get kicking on and Neto starts cooking, you know, Puna starts cooking. Listen, man, those guys, yeah,
Neto, Traore, yeah, those guys, those meaty guys. Yeah.
We should hope for relegation. We'll get
Wolves,
that
I
player.
like Wolves, innit? You know what I mean? Shout out the Portuguese brothers, innit? I would have meant Pedro Neto on the bench for Chelsea. I can't lie to you. Pedro Neto at Chelsea.
You on about?
I can't lie, man.
When we're bringing off Pedro Neto to try and break down Atletico Madrid's low block. Cool.
What do you mean, bro? Pedro Neto could probably do that, you know? He's a
Petro
baller.
Neto would probably do that. I would believe Petro Neto. I would
I
love
actually
Petro
do
Neto
agree
in
with
this
that.
team.
Pedro
No,
Neto could cook, man.
listen. I don't. I think while I think it's lazy journalism, as a squad player, I think he improves the squad overall. He looks like it. He can play multiple positions, but I just think it's an easy story to make up. It's like the Caicedo links is an easy
Yeah.
story to make up. But like I said before,
Sanchez links,
the
all that stuff.
sporting director comes in, him and
Yeah.
Potter might want to go another way. Do you know what I
I
mean?
think part of it will be that we
I don't know
Is
who
it
the
the
sporting director is going to be. So you know,
Is this the same sporting director that told Boehly to sack Tuchel? That guy.
I don't know. That's what I mean. Yeah, I have no idea.
No,
But the thing is, we have no idea who the person's going to be, and what type of networks they're going to have and want to set up. Because when you read the stories about Freund, they not only wanted to sign in, but bring a load of people in from RB Salzburg, like a whole network in.
They were trying to buy the whole network, man.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They wanted to bring the whole basically the whole team along. Just set it
It
up.
was like, fuck it, we'll just buy it
Yeah.
artificially.
It's already set up. It's already set up. It's like City did with the Barcelona people. Let's just bring you all in at the same time and then just do the structure. So it'll be interesting to see. So
You know, I'm surprised that Paul Mitchell hasn't, you know, like from what I've been hearing, unless he's been overhyped. I'm surprised that they haven't gone in for him if Edwards wasn't going to come.
well, I think they're
We
going to go
probably
for
did.
sport. They're going to sign 2 people. They're going to sign a sporting director and a technical director, whatever that means. So.
I think the problem is too, like, I think we're just being rejected front, left, and center everywhere we go. I think we also got rejected by the Leverkusen guy.
No, we haven't been rejected by the Leverkusen guys as yet.
Okay.
I think
I
the problem
that
was,
didn't go through.
we didn't get rejected by Freund. He was good to go.
It was Leipzig. Yeah, it was Leipzig that
It was
decided last
Salzburg
minute.
who said no.
Or I'm sorry, yeah,
Oh
Salzburg.
yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
it's Christoph.
She didn't reject us. Her parents said no. That's all.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Basically, your
Seriously.
employer-
Yeah,
The workers
Yeah,
didn't reject
pretty
us.
much.
The employers of the worker rejected us.
yeah. Fair enough.
No, there isn't.
That's
If we
true.
can't get anyone, let's get Marina back with Petr Cech.
Oh
And
my god.
Maybe it works out.
No, Chris.
Yeah,
Anyway,
no,
Chris,
Chris, I'll only accept that if we bring back
Chris had to leave unexpectedly.
Rome.
Chris, you are in the room of shame right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was.
Yellow
Well,
card.
that
Yellow
might be
card.
just for desperate, like, you know, us being desperate because, like you said, everybody's reject. Well, not everybody's rejecting us actually. We're just struggling to find one.
You know what? The thing with the rejections too, I don't like that we're being so public about all this stuff because it does make us look bad when things don't work out, right?
No,
But part of it is just it's new ownership right now. New ownership. You know, maybe they're trying to, you know, set their new standards, new everything. Sometimes it does get a bit leaky at times, right?
It's only
It's
so
part of the
bad
package.
because used to it. In the States, they do this all the time.
Yeah.
It's always public in the States.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
You know, Ahmed knows this from NBA. How many reports do we get like general managers being hired by another team
Yeah.
or something? You know, it's always in the news.
They're already talking about negotiations. Like,
Yeah, it's about negotiations every day. Yeah,
Yeah,
this,
man.
It's just different because we're not used to it because we're like we're so enclosed in our own like how we think sport's supposed to be. You know.
And the other
think
point
of them
being,
as LTDs. That's why we think of Premier League and limited companies where everything's in house. We don't hear anything until breaking news. It's all done.
Yeah.
and this is the other thing too that we did discuss in an earlier stream at some point, is the timing of it all. I think now mid-season, or not mid-season, but you know what I mean, in the middle of a season, and World Cup coming, all that stuff. There's just so many factors, and it's just
the perfect time.
But wouldn't you think that it would have been better in the beginning of the summer when everyone was just off season? Clubs had time to replacements and all that.
This. He didn't want to do this. Okay, Marina and Czech left him. Okay,
oh, true. Yeah, fair.
He was going to allow them. He wanted them to do this, or especially Marina, to do this a transition through the summer and then leave and find their own people. They didn't do that.
They were on a break.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They left, and now this is the perfect time to do it during the season. There's no transfers or anything. He's restructuring the whole club, getting rid of everything that was there because it wasn't run properly, as we know. It was very stagnated with trophies that hid deficiencies, and he's trying to restructure. They're trying to restructure everything so it's run like Man City, or trying to be as close to Man City as possible, which is a good thing. I
mean, while we're on this topic of the club too, do you guys feel like we're doing too much at the same time? Because I don't think so. I think there is a lot to do. Boehly is hiring a team. He has people that are helping him do these things. So, you know, the club the stadium renovations, find a football director. Also, the links to a Portuguese club, trying to buy a Portuguese club as well. You know,
is it too much?
Saying like.
I think
is it too much at the same time, or is it reported at the same time?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The thing is, like the football club right now, like the stadium, because I went to the stadium recently actually.
Yeah.
Like they're really doing a little decoration. Okay, sorry, Saf. All right. Listen, yeah. So with the stadium thing, it's just they're just doing little things right now. They have to first of all go for building planning, planning permission. They have to get a lot of stuff sorted out there first. So the stadium thing is probably not going to happen, at least in the next 2 years, I would say. This is someone who knows the business roughly of that sort of thing, as a civil engineer. But so that stuff is going to take quite a while.
Boehly, hire him, hire him.
Hey, listen, relax, listen. See?
And I'm sure there's probably a lot of approval and all that stuff. Free tickets. Let's go, Ahmed. Yeah, let's go. I'll pay for my plane ticket. You pay for my Stamford Bridge ticket.
So that's just one of them, right? The other thing that you're talking about, so the staff membership and that sort of stuff, that barring the sporting director, the rest of the stuff should probably be a lot more easier said than done. Generally, the sporting director and technical director are the two big ones. The medical guys, you can probably find a good medical guy, etc., etc. And then the last bit you talk about is just like find a new club. You've already got Neil Bath and some other guys already on the case, and they're already trying to buy like the Portuguese club. Isn't that right, Sarcasm? Like, guys, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I'm hearing. That we're trying to the fourth place Portuguese team right now.
They're fourth, if I remember, like fourth in the table, something like that. But they almost tried to buy Leão. If they bought Leão, would be crazy. I can't lie, because they could have probably been in the Champions League. They could have probably been in the Champions League with us. I don't know if that's allowed, but
how does that work? Because Salzburg and Leipzig, they're not allowed to face each other.
I think it's if they're from the same country, there's a problem.
Oh, I thought it was because they're not the same club.
I'm not too sure. It's a different. It's very weird how the ownership. It depends on what the ownership thing is. Do you know what I mean?
If it's like a group, I think
if it's like a group, if it's a group, it's fine. If it was an individual, you'd have problems. Which is why which is why I think during the summer there was that guy who had stake in Atalanta, who was linked to buying
the Boston Celtics
to buy us. Yeah. He had to sell his. He had to sell his. If he bought us, he'd have to sell his bit in Atalanta first. He couldn't be involved that way. So.
If it's like a person that owns the club, and he can't own two clubs at once. And
he can't own two clubs. Yeah.
If it's like a group, though, if it's a group like consortium, that sort of stuff, then it's fine.
But when you look at Man City, they're owned by like the Sheikh group or whatever it is.
It's not just the Sheikh though. Like a lot of people don't know.
I don't know any of their names. So.
Yeah, it's not just the Sheikh. It's the Sheikh is basically the money guy, but it's basically a consortium. That's why it's called the City group.
I know, but I don't know any of their names. That's just like.
Okay. Yeah.
When you look at they're kind of all together. That's why they have multiple. That's why they have like New York City and they have Melbourne, etc., etc. But it wasn't like Man City are going to buy this club or that club. Whereas with Chelsea, like I saw a report, Chelsea are trying to buy Leão, as in the club. Can that happen? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
I don't know if it can happen. I'm not too sure that one.
What does that mean? What does that mean? If Boehly sells us, does that mean the club owns Leão then, or is that still Boehly? Like, how does that work?
You know what? We don't know. It's a little nutty, but we're gonna have to wait and see.
The thing is, the City group, they own one in the US. Marshall knows that. They own one in India, they own one in South America as well. And I think they even own like a Syria 2 team, if I'm not mistaken as well.
I think they have a team in Asia too.
Yeah, in
like
India, I'm pretty
in
sure.
Eastern Asia.
Eastern Asia.
Yeah, remember the guys who own Watford? They own like Udinese and like a Spanish team or something like that.
Yeah. But the thing is, those two guys are never going to meet in like the Champions
League. In K-League.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Like with Atalanta and like Chelsea, they could meet at any moment in time.
But my thing is that I think when the buying of another club solves a lot of things as well, including like visas for South Americans and everything like that, where you put them in another European club first. Whatever, so they build up their working visa and everything. So when they come to England, they get to pass quicker because they have to play like so many international matches as well. Or there's different rules for different visas. So I don't know. Do you know what? When they announced they bought a club, I wouldn't. You know what? Just accept it.
Yeah, we'll see. I did just find
It's also easier to do.
What's gonna happen? One second.
We don't own the test.
No, I know, but what do you think is going to happen of that? Because I'm very.
We haven't sent players to be tested in ages.
Oh, have we not? I thought Mount the last that we sent them.
I think. I remember correctly. Wait, wasn't Broja the last one?
No, Broja was at. Broja wasn't at the test, was he?
I think Broja went through the test.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, because Vitesse was interesting because Vitesse could have been another angle. They could have went to another club other than the Portuguese one.
You know what's interesting? Chelsea were one of the first clubs you have, to have a club where we would send players on loan quite regularly. Vitesse, and Man City took that to another level and bought a numerous amount of clubs to send their young players. Like for example, Patrick Roberts, he was in City's youth academy. And he had a bit of potential or whatever, and they basically sold him, quote unquote, to New York City, where he was able to stay there for 2 years, play games in the first team, actually develop. And I think now he's at Fulham or something. He's nothing special per se, but it's just an example of how that sort of thing would work.
Was he like with Pirlo and them lot? Yeah, he was with Pirlo and Lampard.
Saying instead of sending a player out, for example, Ampadu out to Spezia or Venezia or whatever, where he's barely playing or he's not learning, or Gilmore going to Norwich and being relegated and not playing games, you can send them to a club under the Chelsea whatever group and say
it would be like how Salzburg and Leipzig are. You know, yes. Salzburg sold Sesko to Leipzig. Yeah, they sold him to Leipzig.
yeah.
Instead of just transferring in between their accounts, essentially.
Yo, that is mad, man. That is money laundering. That is fine.
That was a short version of launch.
We're gonna have to see how that plays out, though, ladies and gents. We do have a few more things I do want to talk about. Let's go ahead and move on to the thing I think that most people are excited about is the rumors and links to Leao and also a player that no one's really talking about is Ismaël Bennacer. Bennacer. Okay.
I said in Arabic, that's why.
Yeah. Thank you. I struggle with that one. Let's go ahead and share my screen. I got the tweets here, the receipts from our reliable Chelsea sources. Here, Fabrizio Romano saying, AC Milan director Pablo Maldini again on Rafael. He's grateful to Milan and understands that the best way for his future is here. Yes, I feel a new deal agreement is possible. And then here, another quote, I don't care about the rumors on contract. It's important what Rafa tells us. So this basically tweet shows us that Leao and Maldini and AC Milan in general just haven't really come to an agreement yet. So there is a strong possibility that we can swoop in and steal this deal right here. The other link that I think, who was it? Simon Phillips. Reports here. This was about a week ago. I feel like this one went under the radar. So I'm bringing it up now. Chelsea reportedly joined race to sign AC Milan midfielder Ismaël Bennacer. And this is important because we will get onto the topic of DMs. Ismaël Bennacer is not a bad option for DM for Chelsea. And considering the other links that we've been linked with, you know, Bellingham for what, it was 130 million euros, I believe, and Declan Rice
Jude
as well.
Bellingham, yeah. English players are just over. Yeah, after he said that, I don't know what I thought he was trying to say here. What did you say before?
I don't know. I'm asking you. I thought I said Jude Bellingham. Anyways,
yeah.
Bellingham for an extremely high price. Same thing with Rice. Look, I'm sure our
Rice is not happening, man. Let's be honest, guys. Rice is not happening. That was an old.
Neither is Jude Bellingham.
Jude Bellingham, maybe you could probably do with a few 20 mil. You can probably maybe get Bellingham. I can see that happening. I can at least see Bellingham. There's a chance like that could happen, but I'm telling you right now, Rice is not happening, guys. Like,
well, we'll get to the Rice, Bellingham, and even the Chalobah stuff, right? But when it comes to Leao, I don't know what the recent price that came out for him is, but last I checked, he was pretty up there in the price, and
110.
I don't know if this guy is really worth that
Don't
price.
say this, Marshall. Marshall, you got to give him Wednesday. Don't say that, please.
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 I think he's a good player. Is he 120 euros?
He's not
good?
that.
Yes, he is. Marshall.
Yeah, because he's 120, and then Declan Rice
as probably the only Chelsea fan in our fan base who's actually watched this guy for a long
I watched
period
this
of
guy
time.
as well. I actually watched it as well, Prime. So,
I've watched him too.
He's good. He's good, man.
No. But I specifically have
You
been
didn't sound
watching.
very convincing there, Marshall.
Yeah, I can't.
No, I have.
Yeah.
Listen, people, my second favorite.
I'm getting caught,
My second
Marshall,
favorite
man.
team
What's
is
going on,
AC Milan. I just don't have enough time to watch him all the time, but I have seen Leao play, and he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's not a good player.
Oh, Leao, I think
Is
meant the
he-
midfielder.
Leao. Is Leao the same price as Erling Haaland? That's how I see it.
Let me land. I mean,
Erling Haaland was 60 million.
let's not speak on Haaland. But Leao is one of the best inside forwards, one of the best up and coming inside forwards in the world. If we don't sign him now, we're going to miss out. You know the way Chelsea fans feel about not getting Haaland?
Sure.
You guys will feel the same way about Leao when next season he's at Man City. Real Madrid wanted him this summer because they couldn't get Mbappe. One reason why he didn't go was because he's not going to play there because Bennacer plays on that left hand side.
Yeah.
Like, this guy is quality. He can create goals. He can score goals. He was the key player or one of the key players to AC Milan winning the Scudetto last season. You guys will see it when we were playing AC Milan on Tuesday, I think, or Wednesday. You will see it up against Reece James, who we'll probably all say as a consensus is one of the best fullbacks, if not the best in the world. He's going to cook Reece James. You guys will see.
No, he's not.
Okay,
He's going to
okay.
move to the right because
Listen,
Reece James going to bag
he's
him.
not going to cook with James.
Yeah.
Let's go to. It's going to be competitive. It's going to be competitive. As someone who watched Leao, as someone who
You guys
watched
are going
Leao,
to see you guys are gonna see he's gonna be able to handle Reece James. We need
Reece
someone.
James going to bag him like he did Vinicius. So it's all good.
All right, cool. My point
He'll have to move to the right. That's where you're going to see
all right,
the best.
cool.
of
Can I
Leao.
get to my
To the right.
point? Point being, he's one of the best inside forwards in the world. If we don't get him, we will regret it. There's no one else
Yeah,
out
we
there.
need to get him. We need to get him.
There's no one else out there like him, by the way, that's available.
Yeah, I listen. I
Could agree with that.
I agree with that. Yeah. Obviously, I'm going to be watching him on Wednesday in 4K.
Hey, Fat Boy James, yeah, one eye open.
Listen. My right back isn't getting Christopher back posted by Trossard. So
I'll
it is what it is.
My right back's not doing that either. What's your point?
Listen, my right back doesn't get cooked. Like it's
Reece James does get cooked, okay?
He's not getting cooked like that. Nah. Listen.
Wait.
Listen, generation right back in it still. But okay, listen.
He's not Reece James is not generational. Whatever. That's me.
I don't appreciate this slander on Reece James Prime.
Listen, Prime.
I'm not saying Reece James. I just know he's
IC3 agenda's coming up, man.
It's not IC. Reece James is my second favorite Chelsea player.
It's this
Prime.
IC3 agenda, man.
What?
Come
How
on,
is
bro.
it? How is it? Wait. How is it an IC3 agenda if I'm backing
literally
Leao?
moving right now, Prime.
No, that doesn't make sense. For one, two. Reece James is my second favorite Chelsea player currently.
So you're saying to me that he's not the best? He's not generational. I think he is.
He's not generational. No.
Prime, do you think he's world class?
Oh yes, he is a world class.
Okay.
Okay, then you know what? Okay, we can accept that. I can accept that still. But anyway, on a much more
Yeah, I
serious
call
note,
him a bomb. On midweek he'll be a bomb, but not on general.
okay, he's not going to be good. He's not going to be a bomb.
Why do you want to see him down for, huh? Why do you want to see him down for?
He's not going to be a bomb midweek. We're going to probably
He'll be
we're going to win.
hooked, man. He's gonna get hooked. He's gonna get hooked at half time.
Okay. Alas, Leao's a really good player. If we can get him less than his release clause, that would be great. Maybe, but we tried that already with Pulisic. So I just think probably what's gonna happen is they may either restructure to get 100 million euros. Maybe I could probably see that being much more likely to happen after another season.
Yeah.
With him at the club, because to get him in the season. But they might agree that before the summer.
It'll be Ziyech. It'll be
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
AC Milan have
There's a
wanted
possibility of sending Ziyech the other way
Yeah.
and using that to leeway the price as well.
Yeah.
I just want to
could see
say,
it.
even when they find Leao in Reece James's pockets after Wednesday, I still want to sign him. Because he's going to join. Vinicius is still in there, and Zaha's got a permanent residence in there.
Hey,
the only way you're going to see the best of Leao is if he moves to the left and Chilwell's still playing. He'll move to the right and Chilwell's still playing. James can do us a great favour by knocking the price off Leao a little bit over the next 2 games for us. And he pockets in home and away. So he can knock a bit of price off him and we can still get him for a cheaper price. So that would be great. Leao's a great player. That's a great player. Unfortunately, we won't see it over the next 2 games because Reece will pocket him twice.
Yeah, my right back.
Great player.
My right back.
When Reece James is injured, when Reece James fakes an injury, right, and we see the report after the game when James was injured, or they
I can't lie.
I warned you. Reece James is gonna fake an injury.
Have you seen Reece
I'm
James?
so scared right now.
Yeah, he's.
I was going to
scared.
say, when next Tuesday when that's had 0 and Leao suddenly had a bad stomach the night before, then I just don't want to hear anything.
AC only have 15 outfield players available.
You can't make excuses for Leao.
I don't want to hear the excuse. I don't want to hear the excuse that Mason Mount
Is Chelsea your favourite team? Second favourite.
You're shameless, Prime. This is not even a Chelsea player, and you're backing him against one of your own.
Oh my lord!
He's just no. He's already a Chelsea player.
All I can think in my head is Prime saying Reece James getting hooked at halftime, and the only thought I can think about is Azpilicueta just coming on and us just losing that
Violate.
game.
He's gonna get violated.
If Reece can't do the job, no one can.
I'm gonna have a conversation over the next 2 games. If Leao doesn't do anything, and he's played on both sides, he's not done anything against our right back or against Chilwell, I want to have a conversation. That's all.
Oh, he's cooking.
That's what I'm saying.
He's gonna make an excuse.
Some
breaking news
about your boy Erling Haaland. He actually has a release clause in his contract, apparently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we know that.
Everyone knows that.
Everyone
knows
That's why he went.
That's not breaking.
That's why he's on lower wages. Not on that high wages.
Well, he's not TikTok.
He's not big at the end of the season. One
It's
season.
150. It's 100. I think it kicks in 2024. 150 million euros.
Anyways,
Boehly
guys,
plotting.
guys, I don't want to hear the excuse of Mount didn't track back or Fofana didn't help out James. I just don't want to hear that excuse. I don't want to hear.
I don't want to hear the excuse.
I don't want the
hear the
excuse of being 50 years old.
And from you, I don't want to hear the excuse. Oh, the midfield didn't get Leao the ball, or Giroud didn't head it on.
Guys,
or
you know,
something
like,
Hey, I don't want the
One
excuse
second,
of
Fran.
Thiago Silva being 105 years old.
One
I
second,
think
Fran,
the
yeah?
excuse of-
1 second, Fran. I'm just gonna say quickly. AC Milan only have 15 outfield players available to face us. 15.
Cool. And wait, all they need is Leao. All they need is Leao to cook.
Oh my days! No,
Listen,
stop
Hey,
it.
You're wilding right now.
You are
Hey, have you seen our team lately, man?
Listen,
James-
you're
Reece
wilding
James
right now.
isn't doing anything.
Koulibaly and Fofana are probably gonna play in the back. I think this game.
Koulibaly.
Yeah,
Koulibaly.
I wouldn't be. Koulibaly probably gonna play next game.
Koulibaly's not doing anything, man. These guys are getting shit.
No, man, Koulibaly, he knows the IQ. He's played against him in Serie A.
Oh
He's
man,
alright.
alive.
Do you not see his?
It's a new era when it's a new era when fans of own clubs twerk for other players.
Yeah, man.
Did you not
he's
see
I never get this
Koulibaly's
shit,
ultimate team
Here's
card?
the- here's the-
Goddamn!
here's the thing.
He's a Chelsea
Here's
player.
the-
He's already a Chelsea player, man. He's a Chelsea player,
Prime,
man.
here's something to think about. You're no better than the Chelsea fans who twerk for Rice. You're no better.
Oh
He's a-
No,
my
No, I take that back. He's actually worse. He's actually worse. At least they don't slander him players for Declan Rice.
No, you go backstage,
No,
man.
let's
Don't
do
go
this, do
backstage,
that.
bro.
Hold on.
Let's
You guys
go.
know I'm making jokes. You know that, right?
Sure you are.
I mean, Reece James
He's
is
making
fat.
jokes, guys.
I am making
Jokes.
jokes.
Yeah, you know
Yeah,
what?
don't-
No,
don't-
sure you are.
don't-
Sure you are. You say
we-
that, and then when you're right about something 2 seasons from now, you're
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
like, "Hey guys, remember that conversation we had?"
Yeah,
Hey,
Bro, we've seen you. You're swifty, man.
hey, it's cool. When Reece James get hooked at halftime, cool. But at
No,
least-
don't bring Aspie on, please.
Not again,
Hey,
hooked.
Reece James, you know
The
what's
only
gonna
one
happen?
who's gonna get hooked
Reece James
is
will
Leao.
Reece James will call for the stretcher to come out, to make it more.
You
Yeah.
know, do you know why he called for the stretcher? After him and Leao got up for 50-50 and Leao bounces off him into the front row and hurts his back, that's when the stretcher will be.
Hey,
Oh my days.
respect your Chelsea winger, man. Respect it.
Oh my
Well,
Who's
God.
Sterling?
No, yeah.
Speaking
He's gonna
of
come back Wednesday when the outside a stinker and go, "Yeah, just wait till the San Siro. He wasn't himself.
Yeah.
Hey, you know,
Oh, you know,
He's already got it already.
it was the Chelsea Ultras that were, you know, doing
The pitch is too
on
small.
one day. Yeah,
The
man.
pitch is too small.
The grass was an
don't
inch
make-
less. The grass was
hey,
an inch less, you know. 1 inch
hey,
less than
I
usual.
don't,
You know what I
I'm
mean?
not like you guys. I don't make excuses for my star boy. He doesn't let me.
Oh!
My title-winning star boy. Tell Reece James to put his league titles on the table.
Tell him to put your Champions League
Tell
on the
Leao to
table.
put his European Cup
Listen.
title.
Yeah, man.
you
Exactly.
are mean. You know those were stolen. All right.
Hey,
Bro, that is wild.
You-
hey,
You-
Marshall,
You are shameless.
Marshall. Let me just say this: if Reece James, if he lost a bit of weight, he probably would have caught up to them. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
You calling
my
Reece
goodness.
James fat?
Why do you think he's leaner now? He's leaner now. So it
Is
happens
he?
again.
Hey,
Catch
hey,
up.
Yeah.
He's actually been losing weight. I can't lie.
Cool.
He looks like
Tell him to look.
He's
tell
in
him to
great
do more of it,
shape.
'cause he's
he
still
looks
getting-
like he's
still
in the
getting
best
tough.
shape there's ever been. I can't lie.
Is
to
he?
you, man.
Is he?
Reece James looks like
Oh,
he's in good shape.
What?
Ask
Players
Leao-
don't have a
ask
bit of
Leao-
muscle.
Ask Leao when he's bouncing off him.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
Ahmed, he's
Hey
gonna be.
yo, hey yo, pause, pause,
Ahmed.
pause on that one. Oh
Hey,
my
Hang on.
goodness.
Do you remember the first day of the season with Yaramina and Sterling? That's going to be Reece and.
Yo!
Leao.
Pause, man. Relax, man. What's going on?
English porno
Yeah,
league.
yeah,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
You see how
Oh, my
Vinicius dunked on trying to back post. That's what Leao's doing.
No, he's
You know,
not.
Leao's
Leao's
Yeah.
going
Bro, I've
head
seen this-
first into the post after he
Bro,
You know
bounced
what,
off.
guys?
I've seen this movie before. I've seen the script. It's happening.
One thing that I'll
You know-
I'll
you
say
know
about
what,
Leao
Prime?
has pace in it,
Prime.
but if you position yourself correctly, you can stop Leao.
Hey, Ahmed, don't disrespect him. It's not
No,
just
but
pace.
it's honest truth.
It's
Like,
not
if
people.
you,
It's not
as long as you're a smart defender,
He's not
Hang on,
He's not
hang on.
He's not
First of
Chelsea.
all, Ahmed, you can disrespect him as he's not a Chelsea player. So you disrespect him.
Yeah.
No, I'm being honest. Like any defender, yeah. Who, for example, like let's use like John Terry, CLLR as I like to call him, but
What?
but
CLLR.
yeah. So listen, so you can make what the last arm wins, isn't it? But one thing about him, he wasn't gifted with pace, right? But the one thing that he had was that he was his positioning and where these guys are going is great. It's the same with Leao. If Reece James, he's got a good defensive IQ. As long as he knows where the guy's heading.
Does he?
Yes. Prime. If Leao, stinks the place up, and does shit, I don't want to hear no prop of him come to Chelsea. My star boy winger, star boy who stinks up the place against Reece James.
And once Leao burns Reece James and forces him
it's not once.
Turn your camera on and say that.
Yeah, man.
Once Reece James gets popped at half-time, I don't want to hear it, man.
Turn your camera on.
You, my friend, is one hard Chelsea fan.
This is going to be the best. It's going to be the best.
How can you waffle about Milan?
This is going to be the best Champions League performance of all time.
By who? Reece?
From who?
This is mad.
Yeah, he changed his face. He changed his face.
No, I like that. But anyway, as I was saying, it's gonna be the best Champions League performance of all time.
You know what's sad?
I don't want to hear no pop about him after
no one wants to talk about Bennacer.
Oh shit! Yeah.
What are you on about? Like that's a great DM.
All right. Okay.
Prime probably calls him the best DM in the world.
I don't think Bennacer is that great, but hey.
Right. But listen, what I want to do is transition this into the next topic, which was the topic of Bellingham, Rice, and even Chalobah, who's been in the mix of playing as a DM under Potter. So let me just read this tweet real quick, and then we'll get right back into this discussion. Matt Law reporting that Chelsea are apparently jumping into the queue for Bellingham. They're trying to get ahead of Liverpool and Madrid. And apparently, and of course, someone said this, that there are 3 things guaranteed in life. What is it? Death? Actually, no, I botched the saying.
It's death, taxes, and Leao jumping on those names.
No, I was going to say death, taxes, and Declan Rice links to Chelsea. So pretty much, the reason I bring up Bennacer is because considering how expensive these players are, Jude Bellingham going for the rumored 130 million euros, Declan Rice 100 million, Chalobah, we'll see what happens with him. Don't you think Bennacer would be a much more reasonable option as a DM who could probably, it doesn't even have to be Bennacer, since we're already doing business with Milan. It could even be Tonali. I'm just throwing these ideas out there and thinking what you guys think.
Marshall, Tonali has signed a new deal, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so
Bennacer is more like 8, if that makes sense. He's not really like a DM. He's like an 8 basically. So and he's much like Caicedo in the sense that
But he can't play as a DM. And he does for Algeria, doesn't he?
But that's Algeria, like like if I'm being respectful, like in Africa we don't really have that many top players that could, right? So
fair.
What do you mean?
Listen, Nigeria, relax here,
what do you mean? You're Somalia. Is that Somalia speaking?
Anyways, listen, I'm trying to be like his actual natural position is at 8. Like, and he's quite creative in a way. Like he's quite creative. I saw like some stats with comparing him and Eriksen, like Christopher Eriksen from Man United, and they were quite interesting to say the least. But he's still young and he's going through the Caicedo phase, much like Brian, where he's growing into his position. So he's a great buy if you want to get him, but he's not gonna hit in the first season, but like in the second season or like the third season, that's where your dividends are gonna basically pay off with him. So for me, if it comes down to at Chelsea Football Club again, what are we doing? We're seeing Nkunku links, Leao links. These are guys that are almost, you could argue, ready and proven players already. Right? Getting a Bennacer for me, does not make sense if you're trying to, let's say, in the next 2 years, go for a title charge, for example. But that's just me.
But
Maybe,
so
because for me, the Alvarez links, for example, they make sense because if he's going to be like
now he puts the camera on.
If he thinks on like an Alvarez, for example, as a DM for us, he seems like someone that's already, he's got the stats already to back himself up. There's a few things that we've seen about him, so we can say there's something there with him at least.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to say that there'll be no need for Benny Boy when our man Ruben Loftus-Cheek does a number on him.
Please do not mention that guy's name.
On Wednesday, all right? When he does a number on him on Wednesday. Yeah.
Listen, I hate Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Ruben Loftus-Cheek should be out of our
Can
club.
I be honest with you?
Hey, wait a minute. What?
Yeah.
You heard me. I meant every single word about Ruben Loftus-Cheek. That guy's finished. He's
The few times I watch AC Milan, I don't watch Serie A a lot because I can't be bothered. But he doesn't. For me, he doesn't. I don't come away from the game going, oh, yeah. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't really stand out for me. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know what type of job he does for Milan. Whether it's the simple sitting there as a 2 or as a.
I think he plays defensively as a.
Yeah, so I think they play 3 at the back, don't they, or something like that.
That's 4. But
that's what I mean. I don't even know what the system they play. That's how much response I give to it.
Sorry.
You want him to? Oh, yeah, you want him to? Yeah. So who else you gonna?
No, I actually don't want him. I don't want.
Oh, you don't want him? Oh, you don't?
No.
Yeah.
It's first of all, the midfielders that you brought up on that list, Bennacer is not a DM. He's an 8, and also Bellingham.
He plays defensive midfield. I'm pretty sure.
He has played it for Algeria. That's my point.
No,
he knows how to play the position.
He plays in a double pivot, but he's not the defensive one. It's the same way Jorginho and Kovacic play together, but Jorginho's the deeper one. In a way, it's the same way. It's Milan. Tonali is the deeper one. If anything, it's him that I want. He's the player.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, we need to look at other creative 8s, Marshalls. That's what I'm saying. Like if we're bringing Bennacer to be a creative 8, he's not the one.
That's fair. I get that, but Prime just did bring up Tonali. What I wanted to ask Prime and the panel in general is, would you think it would be a shame if we didn't at least try to go for Bellingham? Because I really do think that even in this system, maybe he doesn't fit it, but I think we can. Bellingham is very talented, but it could just be Bundesliga tax. But then again, if you're good defensively in Bundesliga, I think that speaks highly to your defensive ability. I think since Bundesliga being such an attacking minded team to be good defensively in that kind of a league, I think
I don't like him. I think there's a false narrative about Bellingham that he can play in a double pivot. I've seen it for England. He's atrocious in a double pivot.
Yeah.
Atrocious. He's more suited. He's more like a marauding 6, a marauding 8. He's an attacking. He's an 8. He's an 8. He's an 8 essentially. He's the one that goes. Look how he plays for Dortmund. He's attacking, he's scoring goals. To label him a DM, I don't think is the right thing. I think we're being tricked into it by Southgate because he plays him in a pivot.
Okay. You know what Bellingham is? Bellingham is in the same mold of England, but quite a few England players nowadays, like Mount, like Curtis Jones, where they're not good enough to play in a double pivot because they're not defensively sound enough, but yet they're not good enough to be 10s. So they have to play in a 3-man midfield to get the best out of them. And teams they play, Curtis Jones plays at Liverpool, they do, but Bellingham doesn't play in a 3-man midfield really for Dortmund. He plays kind of as a 10, and Mount obviously plays as a forward in our team. I think Bellingham is vastly overrated, and we'd be wasting money that can be used on other players.
I mean, I think I agree with the money can be used more efficiently. I disagree with the overrated part. Real Chris, what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna agree with Prime. Like, I think for the.
I think he's overrated.
For the price, like, okay, no, I don't think he's a shit player. Nothing. I think maybe people do tad overrate this guy.
You said backstage.
Yeah, I called. I don't know what I called him. I called him shit or something. I don't
You
know.
can't name it. You can't say it on the stream what you called him. Rude.
Oh yeah, shit. I did go a bit too far back then, but
And
yeah.
he shouldn't say it about his family either.
Oh Jesus.
Oh, Chris,
I think
if you wanna
I
be-
hear it was a lot of proper ban, but I don't know. Like he doesn't even do well for England, and he doesn't even get really played that much. And is he that good? I don't know. Like 120 million.
Do you guys
That's
think that's
not worth
Southgate
it.
tax though? I feel
I'd
like
be
a lot of
hypocrite
your
if I
players
wanted
don't play very
120.
well when they play for
The
international.
reason he's 120 is because he's English.
Yep.
But
yeah,
but
yeah.
here's the
I'd
thing,
be hypocrite if I
Marshall,
wanted.
here's the thing. You say Southgate tax, but quality players still look good when they play in Southgate's system. Reece
Some
James-
Like Harry Kane? Like
For
Harry Kane?
example,
Yeah,
for
Harry
example,
Kane does it right.
For example, Reece James looks brilliant.
Sterling.
Sterling, yeah, another example.
What about Harry Kane?
Maguire
Can you
actually
explain
looks
that
better
one?
for England
That one-
over United.
Not the last game he
I
played.
don't think it's. I'm not doubting his quality.
Yeah,
I don't think he's worth it.
he's
You know
not
what I
worth
mean?
it.
It's
That's
just,
a big factor.
Yeah.
it's just not worth. If he was a midfielder that was scoring 20 plus goals a season from midfield, then absolutely. If he was like what everyone's talking about, and I feel it's more of like his camp and his agents are talking more about him than anyone else's. Because I don't really. When I'm on streams or watching streams or like listen to pundits, they don't really talk about him generally when he's featured on the game. They don't when they talk about other games. They don't bring him up in conversations like, oh yeah, well, like Pedri and Bellingham or something like that, or De Jong and Bellingham or something. I just think he looks very good, but I wouldn't. It's not my money, so I'm going against what I'm saying. If it's my money and I'm Boehly, I'm not coughing up 120 million for Bellingham. I'm just not, because I think we can get. I think we can. The money's suited to spend elsewhere, and you might be able to find two players that will cost as much as Bellingham and still give you the same or a bit more. So I'd rather do that.
Like Bellingham, what does he do?
He's a box-to-box midfielder, as I recall.
Pops up with the odd goal here and there.
Yeah, he hasn't scored this season, I don't think.
Well, he's better in the attacking phase than he is in the defensive.
Fair.
Yes, but I think he's just one of those midfielders what just go up and down and get the odd goal, like Andrew said.
You guys did bring up very fair points about them being more of 8s than 6s. Even they play in double pivots. That is very fair. But onto what Andrew was saying about price and just the DM situation in general. There were rumors that during the international break, Potter was entertaining the idea of Chalobah as a DM, right? And I wanted to ask you guys if that is something you would entertain. Because personally, me, look, he has played as a DM before in his previous club. I believe it wasn't Rennes. It was
Lorient,
right? Lorient, or was it?
I can't remember.
The team he played in Europe. The team he played in Europe, Lorient.
Okay, thank you. So he has the ability to do it, and we see that Kovacic, Conte, they're not very reliable in terms of injury and staying fit. Connor doesn't work there. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is lackluster in that position. If Potter sees him playing in that, do you guys feel uncomfortable with that idea, or would you like to entertain that idea? We don't have what's his name? Oh my days, Billy Gilmore anymore. We don't, and Zachariah is also another one that we don't know what's happening. And Ahmed, you're frozen as fuck. But my point being is that I think I would be okay with entertaining it. I do trust that Potter has a knack ability to be able to play players in unorthodox positions, but also have them play some of their best football as a result.
No, hold on.
But yeah, whoever wants to start off with their thoughts on the whole Chalobah thing, and again incorporating the whole DMs that we
Chalobah and DM,
Bennacer, Rice, all that. Yeah,
I'm very curious. Actually, you can start. You go first.
Well, I don't know. I don't think he might not be that good at DM, because why didn't Tuchel ever play him at DM when we're short on DMs and Chalobah was there? Why didn't he ever play in DM? So and we've seen Reece James play at DM, and we've not even seen Chalobah play at DM. Obviously he's played there in his youth days, so I wouldn't be confident if he was our DM. I think he's a better centre back. I think he does well there. He does have the odd like long shot goal he could have, but yeah, I wouldn't trust it. I don't think he's actually gonna be our DM.
He didn't play in DM in his youth days. He played centre back.
I swear he played DM in the youth as well.
No, he played DM early at Lorient because again, they're like a team which you know they're like versatility basically. So.
Exactly, because I remember during when Conte was here and stuff, and Chalobah was in the academy, and like he was playing at centre back. I think they were playing a back three at that time as well. The thing is, and it's a shame because we haven't seen these friendly games, and they probably won't ever get released. But what type of DM is he? Is he someone that will be able to play on the ball and control games, or is he more of like a destroyer? Like, what profile of DM would he be? Because
we've seen his DM though. What? At Watford, when he played Watford last season, and he was playing as a DM, we saw what his style of like DM was.
He wasn't that, but I don't think he was that good.
So I'm saying to you, he's not good as a DM in my eyes. I think just maybe part of it is that part is trying to survive until January, where we can get DMs, because Zakaria, I don't know what's going on with this brother. He was playing for Switzerland. And like when he was playing for Switzerland, 0 match fitness. He looked like
well, that's the big thing with Zakaria. Zakaria hasn't played consistent football in
a long time. 6 months.
This calendar year, really.
Yeah.
He was barely playing at Juve, so I think we need to take that into consideration. Also, Chelsea fans, I know you guys hate Jorginho, but relax. Zakaria is not a DM.
No, he's not. He talked about him like he was an 8 in his interview. He talked about
man. He played him as an 8. He played him as an 8.
No, that's what I mean. He talked about what style of player is he? I run the length of the field. I get the ball. I try and get in the box. I try and make chances. I try and score. That's the number 8. Not number 6.
He's just
I swear he plays DM though most of the time.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't. He plays in a for Switzerland. Sometimes they play. He like. Sometimes it's a double pivot. Sometimes it's a 3-man midfield. But either way, he's not the defensive guy.
It's usually either him or Xhaka, or it's either him or I forgot what the other Share, isn't it, or something like that. Or
Freud, yeah. Like I just think this. I think this loan move will end up being bad anyways. But if it is a success, great. But again, we've always said that. We just need Zakaria to be somewhat there until January, until we can. Just availability, really. That's all.
Until that's what we need.
How reliable will he be able to be when he hasn't played games? He needs match fitness.
Exactly.
That's true. That is
true. We're in October now. By the time he really gets up to speed for match fitness,
it'll be January.
It'll be World Cup. He'll have to go to the World Cup, which he's not going to. Are Switzerland in the World Cup?
Yes, they are.
Yes.
Oh, he's not starting for Switzerland.
Unless has a crazy injury or
exactly. Injury. So I don't know how many unless he's getting games off the bench to see things out, or he plays the third group game or whatever, stuff like that.
I could see them with Switzerland, whenever they face like a big team, they usually play a 3-man midfield in which he plays a ball. That one I'm pretty sure.
So I guess we'll see. Obviously he's a Chelsea player, so I want him to be a success, but I'm just kind of being tempering my expectations.
I'm kind of perplexed by you guys saying that he's not a DM, because I mean, as much as
he's not,
you're probably absolutely.
Marshall, he said it himself.
Yeah.
They asked him what type of player he is. Gets the ball, he runs up in the field, he passes off, he gets into the box, he tries to score a goal. That's an 8. He didn't say, I sit there, I try and I break up play or I pass.
It just throws me off, just because when we were heavily linked with him 2 seasons ago, that was when he was at Gladbach, and he was having really great performances as a DM, as getting tackles, being defensive midfielder. So I mean, he surely has the ability to be.
He's part of a double pivot for Gladbach, so he did both things. But he naturally sees himself not as a sitting 6. He sees himself as a marauding 6, as an 8. That's what he sees himself as.
He's almost Kente but lanky.
So that means that we've got another 8 at the club when we need 6s.
Yeah.
That's really.
I don't know this. I read something like this. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you could be right because he did for Juventus. He played as a centre, didn't he?
He made his debut and scored.
He did actually, didn't he?
Yeah.
I read something. I don't necessarily know where this report came from. I can't remember exactly. I read something like a 3-man midfield with Jorginho, Gallagher, and Zachariah. It was some sort of report.
It was during the international. No,
yeah.
I think they played another game in the international break where they had Chalobah. This is where the Chalobah reports.
Oh, sorry, Chalobah. Yeah,
they had Chalobah sitting, and they termed it was called shuttling eights.
Gallagher,
whatever the fuck shuttling means now. That's going to be said for the next 2 years now.
Shuttling eights means hard-working eights who do the
fine
like
up and down working. That's
Liverpool at their best. When they had Coutinho, Henderson, and Ronaldo. Henderson and Ronaldo were shuttling.
That goes back to what I'm thinking. If we were to go forward with Nkunku and Leao, you'd have shuttling eights in terms of hard-working eights up and down. With not really, you don't really ask the GNA goes out the door when you think of that midfield.
It might happen.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like
not for our fan base.
Rice Gallagher Mount. Oh,
but that's what they deployed. He deployed Zachariah. The reports say he deployed Zachariah that way with Gallagher as shuttling eights. So
and the thing is, if he was to do that, Potter, I would assume he would play one of Gallagher or Mount in that part of the 3-man midfield. You can't have both Gallagher and Mount being a shuttling eight.
That's why he subbed him Saturday.
They're both not defensively aware enough to track back all the time and do the.
I just think Gallagher has more energy than Mount, and I think
it's not even an energy thing. It's just tactical awareness. If you have one of them, at least you can kind of get away with it because Zachariah or Kovacic, if he's playing there, will tuck in and help out Chalobah or Jorginho.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I just think going back to it, Bellingham and Rice for me are just too expensive.
Yeah.
In terms of
it's going to cost you upwards of 200 million.
If the club choose to pay for them, the club choose to pay for them. If I was in charge, I wouldn't pay for them on the basis of their price. They are not.
You can find better people.
Well, I don't even think it's not about finding better people because they're both very good players. I think the price puts me off paying that for one player, especially for a midfielder that doesn't offer me. Rice wouldn't because he's basically a 6 and a DM, and Bellingham doesn't offer me the creativity and the goals to pay for £120 million for. Just doesn't compute at all.
Yeah.
It'd be like someone trying to pay. It'd be like someone trying to pay £120 million for Mount.
Let them do it.
Gallagher.
Let them do it. Yeah.
Not Gallagher. Let's keep my Chelsea name.
Oh, here we go.
But I agree with what Ahmed said earlier. Is for that price we could get like an Alvarez, Caicedo if those links are real. Ruben Neves. I agree. Ruben Neves too. And you know
Ruben
what?
Neves is 26, guys. I didn't know.
Yeah,
he's young.
24.
No, he's old. 24.
No, he's actually 24. 24. No, I don't think he's 26. 24. Also, with Bruno Lage, I think got sacked today, right?
I think. Well, I don't know. They haven't officially come out and said it yet.
Yeah, it's looking like it might happen with tactical changes. Who knows? Maybe Ruben Neves might come over us.
15 or something, maybe.
Yeah, it's not looking good for them over there. But we'll see what happens with that team.
If you look at the transfer market, you could buy Alvarez and Neves for less than a Bellingham.
Yes.
I think that's.
It would cost you 100 million, yeah.
Well, no, I think Neves could cost you 75, anywhere between that, and Alvarez is going to cost us 40 or something?
Yeah,
45?
So 110 million, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? There is one thing I do want to talk about. I should bring this up. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
I want to bring this up. I think this is something that's being kind of washed under, like water under the bridge. But it's.
You want me to explain?
I think it's kind of a big deal.
Leao's going to cook James. Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Yeah. He's gonna place Leão in his pockets on Wednesday.
Mendy, our boy Edouard Mendy, apparently, and this might not be as big as it is, but a boy Mendy denying or not accepting the initial contract offer given to him
Yes.
by the club.
Yes.
So am I worried? I mean, honestly, I think we're all in the same boat that I think we might need to look in the summer for a new keeper to replace Mendy or compete with Mendy. Considering also we should probably move Kepa away from the club. Is this a big deal for me? I think Mendy just wants a better offer.
He wants better. He wants comparative wages, and the problem is you can't have two goalkeepers on that amount of money at the same time. It's not feasible. If you look at Manchester United a couple of years ago, they had De Gea on like 300 grand a week. They had Henderson on like 150 grand a week, and then they had their third goalkeeper Romero on 80 grand a week.
Yo.
So they were giving nearly 600 grand away a week in wages to the goalkeepers alone. It's not about years. It's not about years for me. It's about money. I would keep Mendy because he's the better goalkeeper overall than Kepa. Kepa's kicking is vastly overrated.
Prime, what are you doing?
He
Are
hasn't
you
got-
having a seizure? What's happening? Are you okay?
I'm listening. Sorry.
I'd keep Mendy because Kepa is even the best part of his game is vastly overrated. You saw it Saturday. His kicking was atrocious Saturday.
Okay.
It's not that good. People keep saying, his kicking, his distribution's better. It's not. And Mendy is better at shot stopping and everything else like that. If you put them together, you get a decent goalkeeper, but we can't do that for morality things.
Xbox
A little fusion dance or something.
Yeah,
like
fusion.
Dragon Ball Z. Oh my
The problem
days.
is, I keep going back to it. You can't have two goalkeepers on.
Yeah, not in the
the
wages
same
they're
way.
on.
It's like in NFL terms, it's like having two quarterbacks on the same money. You just can't have it. It's got to be your top goalkeeper, whoever you choose. And I don't think either of these are good enough to be a top goalkeeper for us. That's why we need to go. That's why I would sell both in the summer and recruit a great goalkeeper and an adequate backup. And I'd send a US kid on loan somewhere for next year and a half, like we did Courtois.
Solanke. No, Selena, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, to a good European club, so he can get experience. But that's what I think is. I don't think it's the years. I think it's the money. He wants comparative wages with Kepa, and from his point of view, you can understand that because Kepa is as before Potter came in was the number 2 goalkeeper and has paid like over double what Mendy is. So you can see that and definitely like that. But listen, I just think we need to move both on. If we want to move forward, they're not good enough.
It's time to go.
Yeah,
that's it.
I need to add that to my soundboard.
Mendy was before he over celebrated his African Cup of Nations win.
It
was very good.
Yeah.
He should have won. He should have won the Yashin Award. He's better in the year than Donnarumma, so he should have won that, but he didn't. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have plenty to say, Prime. Go ahead.
No, I agree. They should both know that we're not good enough to be our number one. I don't know. I guess in terms of like style of play and more suited to what Potter wants to do, it'd probably be Kepa, I guess, as a backup. But I would still get rid of both of them. The thing is, I don't know how feasible or realistic it is to bring in 2 goalkeepers next summer, as well as having to do all the other business we are supposed to get done. I think realistically, maybe one of them would stay, and if it's down to me, I'd have it be Kepa, so at least he can play.
I disagree.
Well, again, I would get rid of both, so it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, for me, Kepa is just a wage price.
Let Prime go.
I'd probably rather have it. I would like to get rid of them both and bring in 2 goalkeepers next summer. But with all the stuff we're trying to get done in the transfer anyway, I don't think it's realistic to get rid of them both. And plus, when you factor Kepa's wages as well, I don't know how realistic it's going to be for our club to take him and pay off all those wages. So I would rather him stay to at least be backup, because I know he can play the style of play that that suits what Potter wants to do, and plus at least he can help out in penalty shootouts. One thing I want to focus on when we get a goalkeeper, and there's a preference of a goalkeeper I personally want, by the way, but they need to be proficient in penalty shootouts.
But the thing is,
that would be a key thing to look for.
Kepa needs to go first because of the wages he's on. They're going to get in a superstar goalkeeper. They're going to want 200 grand at least a week. There's no way they're going to accept anything less if you're keeping Kepa and he's the number 2 goalkeeper and he's on anywhere between 150, 175 grand a week. They're going to want at least north of that plus 200. So you get him out first and then you deal with the consequences after whether Mendy becomes second choice or not. But I think if you get rid of both, you go for a superstar goalkeeper and then for like a 2-year thing until you think Serena's ready, you go for like a veteran goalkeeper, like sort of we did with Caballero. You sort of like go for like a veteran. Huh?
Who?
I don't know.
Caballero?
That's not my. I don't know. I can't think of the top of my head because I didn't know we were doing this. So I can't think of the top of my head. You just go through the markets. Go for a veteran goalkeeper. That's going to be like 2-year deal, something like that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That I agree with.
Just go through it like that.
I have an idea of a goalkeeper to be first choice number 1. No. He's
gone way off the. He's gone way off.
No, he's only had 1 bad season. Respect him, but man.
He's had 2, man. He's had 2.
Hey, Mendy's still a bum as well. Relax. Anyway.
Yeah, that's fine. But
the goalkeeper I want is Mike Maignan. He's one of the best goalkeepers around. He's still young and he's available.
Is he?
What?
Is he available?
Isn't that what I said? I said Maignan.
Yeah.
We just said Mannion. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Mike Maignan, the Milan goalkeeper.
Yeah, that's what we were saying.
Yeah, that's what we said. What do you think I said?
I thought you said he's Italian, Ahmed.
No. We're talking about Mike Mannion. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're not talking
I'll
about
take Ter Stegen.
We're not talking about Melier, guys. Yeah.
I didn't say Melier.
No, not
the
Million.
No, not the Leeds goalkeeper. No.
Ahmed, I'll be real. Your it's very distracting because of your finger frozen. It's very distracting.
Oh, sorry?
It's very distracting. Your picture is up as frozen. We're not gonna lie.
He's staring at you.
You've been frozen for the past like 20 to 25 minutes, man.
Actually, you bring up Melier at Leeds. The thing about Melier, I think he has potential to be like very good. Oh, that's easy.
Done.
Yeah, come on, man. Anyway, I think he has potential to be like a top goalkeeper one day. However, like right now, and maybe it's just Leeds tax with Bielsa, but the way he's been performing the past couple of seasons, like he's been very, very shaky. So I don't know if it's worth taking a punt on him as say like a backup. But playing in a better team, a better defense, maybe that would help him. I don't know because he's still falling.
In an ideal world, I would take Ter Stegen. I'm just putting that out there. I think he's a fantastic goalkeeper. Maybe not the distributing goalkeeper we're looking for, but I still think he's
am I moving now?
Pretty up there. Yeah, you're moving now. Yeah,
okay.
you're back. You were like this for a hot fucking minute, man. Like Jesus. And I think Andrew was gonna send you a picture, but yeah,
I would have taken the picture. So
but yeah, I agree with what you guys are saying. Unless Mendy, by some miracle, comes back to this team, really picks it up and shows the same form he showed during that Champions League run prior to the African Cup World of Nations, I think I want him and Kepa to leave the club, and we'll sell him off and get other keepers. I really think that's the best way forward.
Even if he does show the form he had when he was brilliant, I'd still get rid.
No, I'll keep it second.
Because even as good as he was in terms of his shot stopping, his distribution and him on the ball was so shaky.
But I think you can fix
games like against Leeds. I
think you can fix that though by just not making him overthink it. Just pass it normally. Don't think of like trying to stop him doing his skills, because you can't do that. He did that. He did that brilliantly in the European Cup final when he was part of setting up the goal, and he just chipped it out to.
What's that back again? Tuchel literally points where he should pass it to.
Okay, that's fine. Just point so you can take direction. It's good. Just do that. It's easier to fix than Kepa's biscuit wrist.
No, I'm not talking about Kepa here. I'm
just
saying
has Kepa really been that bad since after Lampard?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
He actually hasn't.
He
I
actually
can't
has.
lie. I do agree we should get rid of, but I don't think he's been that bad.
Chris.
Really? I don't think he has.
I gotta agree with Chris on this one. I'm not gonna lie, guys.
Well, first of all, he cost us the League Cup final.
I mean, yeah, that's not really his goalkeeping.
He's great at penalty saves.
He is.
He couldn't save the one where he was over by the corner.
Yeah, the Van Dijk one. I know.
Andrew,
and I will say he had an absolute shocking penalty shootout because he does save a penalty every shootout except for that one.
Okay,
he did have
two Champions League games. His distribution and his saves have been rubbish. In the two Champions
I think
League
his kicking ain't that good as people think. Yeah,
that's what I mean. His kick is so overrated. It truly is.
It is overrated. It is overrated, but I don't think it's as bad as Mendy though.
Yeah, he just kicks it. He doesn't kick it anywhere to anyone particular. He just kicks it.
But I don't think he's been like under Lampard, like he's just letting every shot in.
Chris, when he starts, are you worried about him?
No. Honestly, not as much as I used to be. Nowhere near.
Not like I used to be. Exactly.
No, but there's a saying, Chris, that I would to everyone here. That's from South Park that I really like. Yeah, a shiny turd is still a turd. All right.
Yeah.
That is what Kepa is.
True. Yeah.
That is it.
I get that, but you guys surely can admit that he's had some pretty good saves this season so far.
That's why I said a shiny turd is still a turd.
What saves? What saves?
He had a few saves last game.
Let me do this. Are there any saves that you wouldn't expect him to make? A normal goalkeeper to make? Are there saves that you wouldn't expect a normal goalkeeper to make?
For a top keeper and top six, probably not.
He hasn't made any outstanding saves, but he has some pretty good saves.
Not to mention that goal last season he let in from Kevin De Bruyne against Man City.
I can't remember that.
All right, cool. I mean, there are saves.
Just you would
first. There are saves
remember that one.
Made that I expect other people to make.
Yes, I'm not.
But anyway,
I'm not saying that. But Kepa would never have a performance like Mendy did to get away at Brentford.
Andrew,
he just wouldn't have that.
I mean, he has what? Cool. My point is not.
He hasn't. Name the game. Name the game.
My point is not about that. Like again, I don't care about the two of them. My point is another point to it is being. They both have to go just because of the divide that is within this fan base. That's part of why.
Fuck this fan base. This fan base.
Why are you listening to this fan base?
Chelsea fans, but still, that's part of why.
Yeah. The comment.
No offense, Surfer and Marshall. I rate you guys,
but you don't me. Okay, fine. Watch.
Ahmed, you're a Palace fan. You don't go. Anyway, my point being. I don't want players that are just kind of going to cause a divide within this family. I want to try and have a bit of positivity. That's part of why I rate Rice. But part of why I don't want him is I know he's just going to cause a divide in this family. You're going to have people who will protect him when he has stinkers. And you're going to have Chelsea fans who will look for every little mistake he has, even when he has brilliant games. I don't want that. So I would just rather not have players here that will cause a divide. That's why I'm part of okay with Jorginho going, because he's just as good as much as he will play well, he will just cause a divide amongst fans. He'll play badly and still cause a divide amongst fans. I'm tired of having that.
He can play good and still there's a lot of hate towards him. It don't matter what he does.
I was on the stream yesterday, I think, and big up to Victor, but like that goal that Palace scored and Jorginho had nothing to do with it. He went, see, that's why you don't have a defensive midfielder like Jorginho. Jorginho had nothing to do with that goal. That was Fofana's fault because he gave away the ball. Exactly. That's what I mean. It's like you can't cure irrationalism. That's what I mean. You can't cure it.
And the thing is, there's a lot of players in, like for example, I've seen Kepa have good games, but people will still get onto him and blame him. Mendy has had good games, but there are people who will get onto him. Jorginho, same thing. There's even like Mount and Havertz to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Same thing. I want to get
Those
rid
are
of all
his
these.
agendas.
I want to get rid of all these
But-
divisive players in the
But
squad.
there's always, I feel like there's always going to be a divisive player in each team. I'm sure if we were
Well, we
fans
need
of
to limit it to
other
one.
teams, there would always be divisiveness.
True,
Limit it to one. I mean, come
True,
on, man.
but Marshall, you know when Chelsea fans were divisive and John Obi Mikel, we were winning league titles and we won a Champions League. So I'd rather have that.
Mm.
I'd rather have that than people are arguing
Don't
about.
get
Mount.
rid of these players. Let's just get rid of half the fan base.
Yeah, there you go.
Unfortunately,
There you
Andrew,
go. Yeah.
unfortunately, it's cheaper to get. It's cheap, just like it's cheaper to sack a manager than get rid of a squad. It's cheaper to get rid of a squad than get rid of a fan base.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I can't get rid of Johnny Minerals on my own, can I?
Yeah,
Oh.
you can't get rid of Prime either. You know what I mean? All this negativity.
Hey, at least I'm a proper Chelsea fan. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
Proper
Mr. Death of
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Mr. Death of Chelsea.
Yeah,
but okay.
All right, all right, you proper Chelsea fans. Guys, make sure you smash the icons. We're back tomorrow for a react video of the Arsenal Tottenham game. So make sure you're tuning in for that one. And until then, we'll see you next time, guys. Peace.